Alright, so today we're going through 5 different exercises and we're going to be doing it in a format of every minute on the minute. That means we need to have a timer or a clock sitting next to us so that every time it hits a new minute, we're going to do another round of these exercises. Now, the 5 movements that we will be going through today are the jump squat, a burpee variation, an inchworm walk out, high knees, and plank jacks. And we're going to jump into that in a moment here. But just a quick reminder, make sure we have a clock or timer next to us, and every time the clock hits a new minute, we're going to go for another round. Okay, and I have 2 sets of reps next to each one of these exercises. We're going to start out with a higher set of reps, and at any point, if we aren't able to complete all of those, for example, the jump squat, we'll start out with 20 reps. If we're unable to hit those 20 reps before the end of the minute, we're going to then drop down to 10 for the rest of the 5 rounds, okay? So let's get into the first movement, the jump squat. Alright, so for the jump squat, I just want to preface this with, for the people out there who do have previous knee injuries or conditions that we want to watch out for, we're actually not going to do the jump part of this. We're going to switch that out with a regular body weight squat or a squat from a seated position, whether that be a chair, a couch, a box, if you have something available to you. So most of you have done the squat before, but as a quick reminder, we're going to open up our feet just about shoulders width apart. Toes are slightly rotated outwards. We're going to drop our hips down. Our knees are going to trace the direction of our toes. Make sure the weight on our foot is nice and balanced. And as we push up, push from the heels and jump, okay? When we are going for these jump squats, we want to get a lot of power out of this. Remember, I want you to try to touch the ceiling if you can. If you actually do touch the ceiling, get a video of that because that'd be really cool to watch. So, quick reminder, jump squats, boom, boom, boom. And we're starting out with 20 reps here. So every time the clock hits a new minute, we're going for 20 repetitions of jump squats. If at any point you've done a couple too many and you can't hit those 20 jump squats, by the end of the minute, we're gonna drop down to 10 reps for the rest of the 5 rounds that you've got left. Cool, let's jump over to the next exercise. All right, so now we're gonna be doing a burpee variation. And how we're going to be doing this is we're gonna start, if you have a mat, go ahead and pull that out. We're gonna go push-up position either from the feet or from the knees. Now, in this situation, I wanna make sure that you find a proper weight that is suitable for you. If you're having a lot of trouble trying to do a push-up from the feet, then you know I'm gonna tell you to drop down to the knees, so we'll start from there. If from the knees we're having a little trouble, then find a little elevation, whether it's a couch, a little box or stair step that you have around that we can elevate the hand position on, and that's gonna take a little weight off of those push-ups. So starting from push-up position, we're going to drop down, strong push, power from the chest here. We're gonna take one step in, one step in. With both feet on the floor, we're gonna push up and then jump. So we're actually gonna transition straight into that jump as we push up. So a quick recap. Drop down, press, feet up, and jump. Drop down, push up, feet up, and jump. Make sure we get both feet onto the floor before we get up. So we're going for 10 reps there. If at any point you have trouble hitting those 10 reps before the end of each minute, we'll drop down to 5. Now, let's get on to the next exercise. All right, so for our next movement, it's going to be an inchworm walk out. So for this movement, we're gonna start out standing up straight. Our hands are gonna come down onto the mat, and we're going to walk outwards until we're in full plank or push-up position. And from here, we're gonna walk it back all the way and stand back up. Now, while we're getting back up, I wanna make sure that we're engaged in the core, using our hamstrings and our glutes to bring ourselves back up into standing position. So again, how that's gonna look is and back up. Cool. We're gonna be doing 5 reps of that one. If you have trouble hitting those 5 reps, we're going to drop down to 3. Now on to the next movement. Okay, so the 4th exercise is going to be high knees. Now we're going for 20 reps here. If we're having trouble hitting the 20 reps, we'll drop down to 10. Now with this, we're going nice and quick with the high knees, starting up, standing up nice and straight, engaging the core. Make sure our upper body and lower body are nice and connected while we do this. Hands up if you feel like they're a little more comfortable. We're gonna drive the knees up to just about where your thighs are hitting parallel with the floor. Slightly higher than that is fine as well. But when we get started with this, we're gonna go nice and quick. Again, engaging the core, driving the knees up, boom, 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 boom. 20 reps there. If we have trouble hitting the 20, we're gonna drop down to 10. Cool. Now we're going on to the next exercise. All right, so for the 5th and final exercise, we're going to be knocking out a couple plank jacks. We're going to start out with 15 reps, and if we need to drop down, 10 reps for that. And how this is going to work is we're going to be in full plank, otherwise known as push-up position. And we're going to open up our feet, small jump out. Now while we're doing this, we want to keep nice and engaged in the core. If we're having a little trouble with the weight, otherwise if your knees and your lower body are bending forward way too much, try closing up your jump a little smaller. If we can open up and do a couple of wider jumps, that would be great, but again, find a positioning for your feet to open up where it's the weight is comfortable for you. So again, we're shooting for 15 reps to start each minute. If we need to drop down, then 10 reps from there on out. So that was the 5 movements that I wanted to run you all through. Again, how this is going to work is we're going to start a new set of exercises, or excuse me, a new set of reps each minute. So round 1, we're going to 5 rounds of the jump squats, 20 reps each until we need to drop down to 10. If we don't need to drop down, that's great. After those 5 rounds, we'll move on to the burpees, the burpee variations, and then 5 rounds of that later, inchworm walk out, 5 rounds of that later, high knees, and so on to the plank jacks. So give this a shot. Make sure you warm up for this and have fun.